This is the office complex that today stands at 5380 Valley View in Las Vegas, Nevada. People come to work here every day, do their jobs, and drink their coffee, little realizing the significance of the spot at which they work. 27 years ago, 5380 Valley View Boulevard was home to one of America's most innovative, yet today most unknown, motor companies. Its name, Lectra Motors. Its founder, this man, Albert J. Sawyer. Its product, high-performance electric vehicles. Yet the story of Lectra Motors does not begin at 5380 Valley View. No, it begins somewhere quite different. Here, at the Nevada Test Site, a government research facility maintained by the Department of Energy. While working here to develop electric motors for unmanned electric vehicles like this one, Albert J. Sawyer got the idea that he might be able to build himself an electric car. In 1976, Al Sawyer had never actually seen an electric car. The best he could come up with was pictures of early 1900 models, and so he really had no idea where to begin. He had very little money, but a lot of know-how. He was determined to see the project through. Fortunately, luck was with Al Sawyer. He was able to locate an old 1963 Corvair and purchase it for $35. After reselling the engine for $30, he bought a surplus Jack and Heinz aircraft generator for $45. Some relays and switches cost him a few extra dollars, but he had almost everything he needed and had so far only spent $100 on the venture. The biggest expense of the project would of course be the batteries. Fortunately, Al was able to appropriate 16 factory reject 6-volt golf cart batteries for the small sum of $20 each. Now he had all the parts and materials he needed and had spent under $500. The next few weeks were a flurry of activity, but at long last, what the neighbors had begun to call Al's Folly was ready for a test drive. As it sped down the road, a cheer went up from the gathered crowd. No one had actually believed that it would work. And though Al had emerged triumphant, his work was not yet done. At around this time, the Department of Energy had begun an initiative promoting electric vehicles as a viable mode of transportation. Al sent his design in for consideration. The response he received was brief and to the point.
Dear Sir, your efforts, while commendable, are not what we are looking for.
Disheartened, Al continued to drive his new EV to and from work every day, but it seemed like he would never take up another electric car project again. All seemed lost for Al Sawyer and his electric car, until one day his friend Charles R. Amadon put forth an interesting idea. He suggested that they join forces to form a corporation that would develop and market a viable electric vehicle. Together, they developed and built the X2, a hybrid vehicle based on a 1967 Subaru chassis. It wasn't suitable for marketing, but it did generate enough interest that Al Sawyer and Charles Amadon felt that they could now begin development of the Lectra Car 1. The Lectra Car 1 was a fully electric vehicle built on a 1980 Datsun 310 chassis. It was the first car built by Al's new company, Western Research Industries, and would serve as the basis for all future Lectra cars and later Lectra Motors vehicles. Indeed, from Lectra car to Lectra, the technical specifications would stay nearly the same.
Most of the cars had 10, no, had 18 batteries in it. 10 in the back and another 8 in the front, usually. Except some of the models, the way the underhood configuration was, we couldn't put quite that many in front, so we had to juggle the configuration in the rear to accommodate that.
There was 11 in the back.
Yeah, some of them had 11 in the back.
Yeah, there was 11.
It had a cable form controller. It was a controller that was built in England to control the functions of underground mining equipment, and it was so very beautifully built, designed, and very rugged, and we felt that it would really be the kind of a controller to use with our cars, and it turned out it was very good. It had 2 different types of chargers. The chargers were the same, but some were mounted on the car, and some were mounted off the car. Just plugged into the charger sat on the floor of the garage, and the cable plugged into the car, and then others had the charger mounted in the vehicle.
With the Lectra car in hand, Al Sawyer once more approached the Department of Energy and found that it was exactly what they were looking for, especially when they realized that it met or exceeded many of their performance standards.
0 to 30 and was supposed to be in 15 seconds, according to the Department of Energy. That's what they required, but we did it in 7 seconds.
It was fast.
Top speed is about 80 miles an hour. We tested them at 80. If they wouldn't do that, we'd take them back to the factory and
had good range.
It was approximately 50 miles for the pickup truck, and around 60 to 70 in the sedans.
And a decent charging time.
Depends on how many miles you had driven before you plugged them in to charge them, but if the battery was all the way run down to the point where it was starting to slow down, we'll go into that in a minute, it took about 8 hours.
With the Department of Energy behind them, Western Research Industries began to make its mark on the automotive world.
We sold a bunch of cars to Florissant, Missouri. That was our first sale, actually, and then we sold some in Onondaga County in New York.